everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day. Happy June 1st to you all. Well, today we're creating a Hawaiian card. We're using some Spellbinders Club kits. We have the large die of the month club kit. It's called Tropical Blooms. And then we have the clear stamp and die of the month club kit. This one is called This Way to Rainbows. It looks like there's a whole bunch of greetings in here, but this actually creates a little post that tells you which way to go. So we'll be using this. We're not going to use the post. I'll actually create another card using the post within a few days, so keep a lookout for that video. My idea is to create kind of like a postcard. I would love to go. I've never been to Hawaii, but I would love to go. And so we're going to make a tropical, kind of a Hawaiian postcard today. Let's jump in, and this will be a 5-step card too. So we're going to jump in with step number 1 and create our tropical blooms. We're going to do some die cutting and lots of blooms in here, but we're going to create with the hibiscus. So we're going to die cut this out with some Spellbinders. This is Dahlia cardstock. And then there's some layering elements that I'm going to die cut out with the same color. Okay, and while we're at it, there's a side view hibiscus that we're going to cut out also. So, and we're going to use the same color. We're going to make 3 flowers, but they'll all be the same colors. Okay, and then while we're die cutting, we have some pretty neat leaves. We have this little tropical leaf, and this is great on its own, but there is another piece that you can add to add a 2-tone layer. And I'm going to use a light green cardstock. This is Simon Says Stamp's Green Apple. I'll cut this out. And then I'm trying to use my older cardstock. And then I have a darker green. This is actually Hero Arts. I'm not sure of the color, but it's a darker green. And I'm going to cut out the layering piece for that leaf. I'm going to show you how to do 1 leaf. And then off camera, I'm going to create 3 more. We have this beautiful leaf here. We're going to cut this out with Spellbinders Peridot. And then also in this die set, you can create some really small flowers that it can attach to this. So I'm going to die cut out the stem with some green cardstock. And the flower portion, we're going to use some yellows. So I have, probably need a bigger piece here. Maybe not. There's 2 layers to this die that will cut out all those little flowers. And the bottom layer will cut out with beeswax. The top layer, I'm going to use a light yellow cardstock from Simon. This is Simon Says Stamp's Lemon Chiffon. Okay, and then we have some stamen for the flowers. I'll cut out both of the stamens with the beeswax. And let's see, oh, this goes behind the flowers, and we'll cut this out. I'm going to cut out the back piece to the flowers with my beeswax also. I think I can fit it on there. So that's all the die cutting we're going to do. I'll run these through my machine, and I'll be right back. Cutting is all done. Let me zoom in before I forget. Now we're going to layer our flowers. These middle pieces punch out. Okay, but before we layer these, I am going to add a little bit of ink on the inside here. So I'm going to use my Simon Says Stamp watermelon ink. I'm just going to pick up a little bit, and then I'm going to add it to the base of these and kind of fade up. Now to layer the flowers, there are 2 different flowers, and each of the pieces, it doesn't fill in all of the petals, but each of the pieces will fit the flowers like a puzzle. Now to attach the petals, it's best, I think, just to follow along the edge of the flower. For example, that's probably a little too much here. Okay, so I added a little glue to this one, and the edge of this petal lines up with this edge. So I'm just going to line this up. And I just added glue to the base because then I can fluff up the flower petals. Like that. Okay. And then the next one. So this flower has 3 extra petals and this one has 4 extra petals. And let me show you. If you wanted to put foam squares behind there, you could, but I'm not going to do that today. Okay, and then we can add our stamen. So I'm going to add a little glue here. And then we just pull this up through the center. And really, you can add it anywhere you want. Like that. They come together really easily. And then I'm going to flip these over and add a little extra glue around here. And then we'll flip this over and add some glue behind here. And then we can add these little circles. Now I'm going to bring in, for these stamen, I'm going to bring in a little Copic marker. This is my YR23. And I'm going to add just a little extra layer over the top of the hibiscus. Let me show you, just to give it a little bit of a darker detail. And those are all done. Now we're going to move along to the side view, which is just as easy. We are going to start by adding the stamen here. This one we're just going to we'll add some glue behind this one. And then this one, you can put this one anywhere really, but I think that's a good spot. This has an extra piece that goes on the stamen. I'm going to color that with the same yellow marker, just darken it up a bit. And then I'm going to add a little glue right down the center here, and then I'm going to put the stamen behind it. So this one has 2 layers. Let me show you. And that's all there is to that. We do need to add this top piece, and I'm just going to add a little glue to the very bottom, and we can add this layering element, and then that's the side view hibiscus. Those flowers are all done, and then we have this little flower piece. I'm going to bring in my tweezers for this. And then we're going to add some glue. And then we can layer this top layer over the bottom. Like so. Creates a really nice flower. And then we can layer them all on these little dots here. And you can add them anywhere you want, really. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I'm just finishing up my last one. And we'll go ahead and add this. I do want to mention, I had to die cut out 2 sets of these to fill in. So it creates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you die cut out with the dies, you can cut out 7 flowers. Okay, but there's 8 little circles on here, so I had to die cut it out one more time. And then that's going to go with my flowers here. To create the leaves, very simple. I'm not going to do any ink blending. And then we can add this layer right over the top. And I did 3 of these, and I only did 1 of these little palms. Gotta push that out there. So this will be my focal point. We're going to put this to the side, and now we're going to work on our next step, step 2, which is our home panel. Something to layer our flowers on. I'm bringing in a piece of white cardstock, and we're going to do some ink blending on here. I have some seafoam. This is an A2 panel. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I have a little more room. Okay, with seafoam, I'm going to pick up some ink and I'm going to go over the top of this A2 panel. Okay, so we have the top half with seafoam. Bottom half, we are bringing in Simon Says Stamps Fawn. Both of these are Simon Says Stamps Positively Saturated ink. Fawn, I thought is like a warm gray. And we're going to add this to the bottom. Now, this is an A2 panel. We're going to end up trimming this, but I do want to mention that 1/3 on the top, 1/3 on the bottom, and I do like that white line in the middle, okay? I'm bringing in my spray bottle. This is my Distress Sprayer, and I'm going to add some water droplets. kind of going heavy. Lovely. Okay, now I'm going to bring in a die set. This is my Spellbinders postage edge rectangles. This is the second postage edge and then the second rectangle that goes inside of it. I'm going to take the detail layer. It has little polka dots on there, which is really nice. I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and with the postage edge I'm going to run it through my die cut machine with some alabaster. Alabaster is an off-white cardstock. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Wonderful. Now we have all of these pieces. I'm going to put this one to the side because we're actually going to use this. Okay, and then with this one, I'm going to directly adhere this to my postage edge. I'm just going to use my adhesive. And that will be my home panel. Okay, we'll put this with our flowers. And now we're going to work on step number 3 and create our greeting. We're going to die cut out Aloha. I'm going to use my Spellbinders chiffon cardstock. I may not use the O, but I'm going to die cut it out just in case. I'm also going to die cut out some pop-up foam to go with it. We're going to put some dimension behind this. And then I'm going to bring in our stamp set. In the stamp set there is a greeting. I'm going to stamp a little escape in an envelope. I really like that. Okay, so I have it on acrylic block, and I need something to stamp it on. So I'm going to take the smallest of my postage edge rectangles. I'm going to die cut this out with some white cardstock. I'm going to ink up my greeting, and I'm going to stamp with my Memento ink. Pick up here. I'm going to stamp it here. Wonderful. And that's good to go. Now that's going to be part of my greeting. Next I'm going to take my Aloha and I'm going to add it to my pop-up foam. Okay, now again, I don't know if I'm going to use the O or not. I like that they separated it so you can replace the O with a flower if you wanted to, and I just may do that. We'll see. But this is going to be my greeting today. I'm going to put this to the side, and now we're going to work on our background. For my background, we're going to use the negative piece, okay, of our home panel, and I'm just going to layer this on the front of my card base. Okay, we're making a landscape style card today. I'm going to take my home panel and we're going to layer it right over the top, and you can't even tell that we used the bottom piece. Okay, and then we have all of our elements here. First I'm going to bring in we got to bring in some foam squares. I'm going to add a foam square behind a little escape, and I want it to kind of be offsetting here at an angle. And then I'm going to add my Aloha. I'm going to actually add my palm first. We're going to add that here. Okay, and then I can add my ha. I'm leaving that gap for the O. Let's see. I may need to scoot this over a little. For the leaves, I'm just putting a small foam square at top and then glue at the bottom. Let's see. Maybe over here. Lovely. Okay, that's our little scene. We're going to move along to step 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm going to bring my white gel pen in, and I'm going to add some little white dots around the hibiscus center. You'd be surprised what a few little white dots does. And then I am going to bring in my lovely diamond stickles, and then we're going to add a little bit of sparkle to the stamen. I'm going to add it to these flower centers also. And then that will finish off my card today. Fun little kind of makes you want to get away card. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.